Hello, my dears. So today I wanted to make a video that's a little different from the videos that I usually make. I wanted to hopefully convey some hope for anyone who is struggling with any kind of addiction right now, and maybe share a little bit of my own story. Oh, so right now I'm dealing with nicotine withdrawal. I've shared a little bit in my tarot videos about my journey to getting off of nicotine. Not too long ago, I was on 15 milligram nicotine pouches, and then I went down to 9, and then I went down to 3, and today is pretty much my second day completely off of nicotine pouches. Full disclosure, I have been using Hape, which, if you know, you know. It's a beautiful tobacco-based medicine, which I've kind of been using to stave off as much nicotine withdrawal as I can, but I'm still very much withdrawing and dealing with depression and brain fog right now because my brain chemistry is probably just like, bye. But I wanted to make a video to hopefully get connected. Like, I don't know, I'm having a hard time forming thoughts. But I know that if it's me, it's you. If it's you, it's me. We're all in this together. We're all on this journey together. And if I'm going through this, then there's somebody else out there going through this. And hopefully we can walk this path together, because this shit is not easy, man. And yeah, I've found that on this healing journey, just knowing that other people are going through the same thing is incredibly healing. And having people to lean on and talk to and depend on in this journey is the ultimate medicine. I'm so blessed to have people to walk the journey of recovery with. So consider me your recovery buddy if you're out there going through the same thing. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'm here to support any of you with whatever you're dealing with. So I guess just to give you a little bit of background, I am in recovery. It's been a little over 6.5 years since I've had a drink of alcohol, and over 3.5 years since I've smoked weed, which was another one of my drugs of choice. Many years ago, I became homeless in Los Angeles when I moved there for the first time. And so I moved to LA when I was 24 and quickly became homeless. I hadn't drank for about 2.5 years at that point, but I quickly picked up alcohol, telling myself all the things we tell ourselves when we're trying to justify a relapse. You know, I'm a rock star. I'm out here in LA. I deserve this. I'm sleeping on people's couches. I deserve this. Like, I need this, whatever. If I've gone 2.5 years without it, clearly I don't have a problem, blah, 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 all these things. So I started drinking again. Quickly landed my ass in rehab. Not because I wanted to be sober. I just kind of wanted to know where I was going to be sleeping for 30 days in a row. So I was tired of posting on Craigslist, asking for a place to stay for a little while, sleeping on strangers' floors, sleeping on strangers' couches, just going from the most insane, dark, scary situation to insane, dark, scary situation. So I put myself in rehab at the beginning of 2017. And at rehab, I went to my first AA meeting. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with AA. I saw people around me who looked healthy, whose eyes were bright. I was like a bald. I had shaved my head before around the time I became homeless. So I was like, just felt like so unhealthy. And I say this with all the love and compassion for myself possible. I just felt so unhealthy, and I was looking at these beautiful, happy people in AA laughing together, and like their eyes and their skin had a glow to it, and I fell in love. I fell in love with AA right away. That was not the last time I drank. I still had some research to do, as we say. Still had a little bit of ass left to get kicked by alcohol. So when I returned to Philly after having gone to rehab and all that, I'm very much summarizing all this, but I returned to Philly and proceeded to nearly drink myself to death. Just really sad. It got really sad and it got really dark. I didn't want to drink, but it felt like I had to. I had no control. I would often find myself obsessing over alcohol until I was compelled to go to the liquor store just to shut my mind up about it. Drinking till I threw up, waking up, throwing up, putting shit on social media in a very drunk state that I would quickly delete the next morning. Just a horrible, horrible cycle of alcoholism. You know, I was like a late bloomer. I really didn't start drinking and doing drugs till college when I was 18. And I stopped drinking, hopefully for good, at the age of 26. So all in all, I drank for about 6 years cumulatively. But I drank in such a way that it was very obvious to me that I am an alcoholic. There's not a doubt in my soul. So I returned to AA, and AA saved my life. It continues to save my life to this day. The principles that I've learned in AA picked me up out of the mud and saved my life, and continue to. And I'm sharing my story because I feel called to, and this is only a very, very, very small, paraphrased, abridged, simplified version of my recovery journey. And if you want to know more, I would be glad to share about it. But I'm dealing with this nicotine withdrawal, and I got the inspiration to share a little bit of my story because I know somebody out there has got to be dealing with this too. I'm 33 years old now, and I've been addicted to nicotine on and off since I was 15. When my girl Dana stole me my first pack of Camel Blues. So it's not the first time I've quit, but I think because this is the most conscious and aware that I've ever been. I'm conscious and aware of all of the tentacles that my nicotine addiction has. And there's a lot of body image stuff, you know. Nicotine has helped me keep my weight down pretty effortlessly for years. I've dealt with an eating disorder much of my life. I've been to two rounds of eating disorder treatment in my early 20s. And I'm largely good with all that stuff. But then again, it's like nicotine has been keeping my weight down effortlessly for years. So it never was really an issue for a while. It was just like, throw some nicotine at it. So all that stuff is coming up in this process of looking at my nicotine addiction. All the stuff from my childhood and teenage years that contributed to my body image issues. Are coming up to be dealt with, healed, looked at. Oh. And I'm doing my best to be very soft with these parts of myself, and I hope that you are doing this and being gentle with those parts of yourself as well, because chances are, if you're resonating with my message and the things that I put up here, like, chances are the parts of you that are used to reaching out for things like substances and such to make you feel better, those parts of you deserve a lot of sweetness. And not harshness or force or, you know. Chances are those parts of you exist because you didn't get the gentleness and kindness that you always deserved. So I pray that while you're walking this journey, you can be very kind to yourself and very gentle with yourself and very easeful with yourself. Which is part of the reason that I'm, you know, leaning on Hape a little bit in this nicotine thing. Because, like, this addiction didn't form fast and it might not leave fast. So I'm just trying to be patient with it. And I hope that you can be patient with yourself as well. And just know that there are so many beautiful people out there walking the same path. Not just 12-step fellowships, there's many, many fellowships out there for people to lean on each other in as we walk this path of recovery and dealing with addiction. I have found that the people that I have been able to walk this path with are the single biggest medicine and blessing. I've been very fortunate to form the connections that I've been able to form on this path. And please, again, consider me your recovery buddy. You can tell me what's going on. This shit is not a joke. We're dealing with our brain chemistry here. Earlier, I was feeling so like, oh my God, I couldn't complete one task. I couldn't even finish watching a YouTube video. Felt so depressed, so down, so slow, like my brain couldn't even function. Because these things rewire, like they get into our brain chemistry, man. Shit is not easy. And it takes, for me, I can't tell you what it's going to take for you, but for me, it's taken a potent blend of a lot of things. Faith in God, beautiful people, meetings of all different kinds, healthy daily routines and rituals, taking care of myself, yoga, meditation, therapy, EMDR, prayer, sleeping enough, hydrating, good food. I don't play about my healing. I don't play about my recovery. This is a whole other timeline that you're stepping onto. So give yourself that grace, like give yourself that compassion and be proud of yourself. But another thing that I feel like I would be remiss to leave out is that, like, chances are, if you've connected with me and my message so far on this channel, you are a person who has a really big and beautiful calling in this life. And you want a big and beautiful and amazing life, and you deserve it. And you have to know and stay cognizant of the fact that anything that is being called for you to heal is exactly what's going to bring you to the life that you deserve and desire. So I know that on this path it can be really hard to focus on things like that, but know that you're being called to this for a reason. You're not just being put through this healing process to torture you. You're being asked to work on and look at and walk through these things because it's going to bring you to everything that you deserve and want from this life. You know, say you're a healer. You're a person who's been sent here to be a healer. You can't really heal other people if you are not doing the healing work that needs to be done in yourself. Say you're a channeler. Chances are you're not really going to be able to get those messages through yourself if there's chemical dependence and all this shit clogging your third eye, you know. You want to be a beautiful creator, you know. We need to be a clear, beautiful, clean, healthy vessel for these things to move through. So find it within you to get excited about this process, even if it's just for a moment here and there. That you are being put on this path for a very high purpose. And when you get to a certain place in your journey, when you see that new person walk in and they're struggling and they're crying and they're going through the brain chemistry fuckery that we go through in the beginning, you know, you can hold them and help them and support them and pass it on. I think I've communicated everything that I wanted to communicate today. I love you guys so much. We out here, man. I'll see you soon.